Lisa. I don't know a whole lot about parenting, but one of the things I have figured out from being somebody's child and from having stepdaughters is that parents are your last resort when things don't go the way you want them to go. One morning we got a call from my stepdaughter, who is a librarian in a school, and she had set up this, or planned to set up this Skype session with another school. And it was designed around, it's almost like a Where's Waldo kind of thing, but I guess not. It's more of a 20 questions kind of thing. That's the way it worked. Is the kids were learning about maps, and they wouldn't know where the school was, but they would have to ask questions of the other class and find out where in the world they were. And so they started out with questions like, where are you in the northern hemisphere, in the western hemisphere, and so forth. And when they got to, if they got to the U.S., it'd be east of the Mississippi, west of the Mississippi, and so forth. And they keep working their way down and looking at maps and seeing what interstates were there and all that kind of stuff. Well, this had fallen through, and she didn't have somebody to call, so she wanted to Skype with us and let us be sort of her class for the kids. So my husband was on the Skype, and I was there in the room too to answer questions, especially as we got a little bit closer. But in terms of highways and things, since this is my home state, and it went really well. And they got to use their maps and ask lots of questions and figure out where we were. And they figured out exactly what town we lived in. So it was a fun activity, and I've got a couple of pictures that I want to scrapbook. And when I didn't think about this when I was printing them, but when I was pulling product, I thought, this would be great for a travel page, a travel themed page. We don't do as much traveling as we used to, and I don't get to use these kind of products as much. So why not use some travel themed pages, because this is really about geography. And I have these papers from Basic Grade. This is Carte Postale, and I really like that one with the globes on it, so I'm sure I will use that paper on this. And then there's a few other things in here. There's one with postcards and stuff that I don't think are quite as relevant, but there are some good embellishments for this. There's a whole pack of, those are letters. Somewhere there's some more stuff. Anyway, oh, here it is. A little booklet of tags and whatnot. And some of these relate to location. So there's another globe. So we'll do some things with these on the page. As far as the layout for the page, oh, and one other thing I'm probably going to use, because the colors work really well, and there's a couple things in here too, is the hipster collection. I think that works really well. So we'll use those for this page. The photo has very neutral colors, so I can do anything in terms of colors with this. For my sketch for this, I'm going all the way back to my first sketchbook that I did for 2013. This is a year of sketches, and it had 52 sketches in there, and this is one of them from 2 Photo. The original was done with 3-inch wide photos, and one of the swaps and suggestions was to use 4-inch wide photos, and all you have to do is cut these paper pieces 4 inches wide instead of 3 inches wide. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have some strips of paper going down here, and then some going across, and 3 embellishment groups, title, and plenty of room for some journaling. So we'll probably have our photos something like this, although I could flip it a little bit and do them this way. I kind of like that too. I kind of like maybe flipping this, at least this part, around. I don't know. And I could put the journaling over here and put the title there. Yeah, I may just flip the whole thing. I don't know. But anyway, that's kind of where we're going with it. So let me pick some product to do this sketch for these 2 photos.
We know we want to use this globe paper, and I'm going to cut a couple of the strips of it. It needs to be 4 inches wide, and that happens to work out to be 2 rows of those globes. I also have another paper there that has sort of a map kind of print that was kind of cut down. These papers were a gift to me from my friend Mary, and they're just wonderful. So almost everything was whole paper sheets, and I've just got gobs of stuff to work with here. So there's some letters there that I like from the hipster collection, and there's a few other things in that collection that I might be able to use. There's a little sticker that says "Friends are everywhere," a round sticker that might work out. There's several other things I know I'm not going to use, so I'll just put those back. some little metal tags from the travel collection. So I've got plenty of stuff here. I'm going through these cards because I really like some of the words, the travel themed words, and again I'm kind of going for some round embellishments, and there are several things here that are round. I don't know why I zoomed my camera in so much here, but we're going to put together a few more of these embellishments. I'm just going to trim some stuff out. I like this globe. It's not a round cut, but it would work for that kind of look. And the stickers, I don't know for sure what I'm going to use yet, so I'm just going to cut it out of its sticker sheet there so I can use it. And I'm off here at the paper trimmer trimming a few things down. And I decided on this map print and to use that one that was cut down maybe as just little strips. So I'm going to use the slightly busier one for the background, the larger scale one for the background. And we're cutting it to a 4-inch wide strip, and you'll still see a little bit of the map print there underneath. And it tells you on the sketches what size to cut your various strips. Okay, I know I'm going to be putting my journaling in there, and I'm thinking about doing the title in a slightly different place because I'm going to have a fairly long title. So I've got all my strips cut, and I'm punching out one of the designs to get a circular design here, and I ended up trimming it down too much, so I'm just stapling a little piece of scrap paper there to the piece that I want to punch, and then it'll hold it in the punch. Okay? And I'll probably be cutting out that globe and putting it inside the round part. Now, I thought something that would be fun to do for the title is like a mystery where you have your, actually they're murder mysteries or kidnapping, ransom things, but anyway, it's kind of a mystery sort of thing where you have your letters cut out of different papers, and that's what those stickers look like. So I'm doing where from all kinds of different fonts, and I had in the world or the world already as one of the pieces that were pre-printed, so I'm adding in and is. So where in the world is, and then it'll have the name on the bottom. And I had this wood veneer frame that I remembered, and it has remember on there, so we can have a little memory thing there. And here's a few other things that I'd like to cut out and use. Just taking some wording off of some of these tags, because the tags are too big to use too many of them. So got to cut, and I'll finish trimming that out. We got a few cute tags there. One that says something about north, south, east, and west. Some different ones. So it's time to start gluing these down, and I'm just going to use the grid lines on my paper to find the center of my craft background that I'm adhering these to. We'll get the first one on there, and then the rest will line up. And these pieces are supposed to look like they go underneath some of the 4-inch strips, and you could do it that way if I hadn't glued them all the way down, but I'm just going to trim them so they butt right up against the edges of the 4-inch wide strips. I'm having a lot of trouble with my tape runner on this particular day. It kept gumming up on me, and I finally got it to do a better job. I've mostly been well pleased since I converted over to this type of adhesive, but every once in a while it gives me a little aggravation. So I'm sticking with the sketch for how to lay these out, keeping in mind that the design is flipped and the title is going to go above the photo instead of, in addition to, down below. I'm popping up some of the pieces with dimensional adhesive, And this was one of the stickers, or one of the designs that I punched out, and then I punched the globe out of with a smaller circle punch and put it in the middle. So where in the world is, and we'll put my husband's name, Mr., and his last name down below his photo. That's the way the kids know him. He does some volunteer work at our local school, and they know him, of course, as Mr. and his name. I think at the local school they may call him by his first name, but I used his last name on the final version of this layout. I did get my sticker there further up than I wanted, and it's left some gunky stuff on there where I moved it. That's going to get covered up with journaling. So that's why I moved it, is I needed some more room for the journaling. We're getting down to the last few little embellishments. That white block is where the journaling is going to go, and I decided that this would have looked really good if I had put some mist on the background, but it's too far along to redo the background. I have this stamp set. It's an old stamp set from Stampin' Up! Called Itty Bitty Backgrounds, and it has things that look like scattered dots, so I'm using that and some gray ink to add the equivalent of misting around the upper left and lower right corners.
Okay, so I'll add my journaling and finish off my husband's name before I put this in my album. Let's take a look at our sketch. We flipped our sketch this way so that I could put the lower photo on the right hand side, and so that put the journaling on the left and the two embellishments on the left, and then the title over here on the right. And I went ahead and moved the title up here because I needed more room for this. So where in the world is Mr.? And so the kids could ask lots of questions and find out where he was located. And so we had lots of cool things that we could cut out, like the north, south, east, west, discover the world, friends are everywhere, smiles make the world go round. So there were things I thought that were really appropriate for this page, and a good way to use a travel theme page for something that's not our travel, because it happened to be sort of a map reading kind of exercise. So this is from the first sketchbook I did, called A Year of Sketches, from 2013. So there's 52 sketches in here, a lot of great sketches to use, and it's still available along with the other sketchbooks. You'll find a link for that over on my blog, and I hope you will, or excuse me, on the description for this video. And so I hope you'll take a look at those. And I appreciate all your support in my projects and all the wonderful comments. Thanks so much for watching.